Waiting.
Yep.
We're up.
All right.
I've immediately paused it.
Yep.
How are we all doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. Well, hello. This is Halgea D&D. This continent is a homebrew world made for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. It is a world where artifice and wizardry are highly revered, and religion and worship of the gods is considered to be taboo. This world is made up of 4 continents that huddle closely together. Some say that they're slowly drifting apart from one another. Today is the 6th of Intember here in Halgea. 5 strangers from different corners of these cuddled continents that define the Halgean borders are about to meet one another and possibly share with each other the journey of a lifetime. Life has been normal for them and the people of Halgea here for a very long time. Yet, 2 days ago, the crescent blue star known as Tora, of the 8 stars that hang over the sky here in Halgea, has gone dark. Its ion tail flickered like a fuse and faded away into the void night sky. As the final strand of its tail disappeared, a subsonic pulse could be felt throughout Halgea. A bright blue flash alit the evening for a moment before the star went dark. Rumors and fear gossip began to spread. Thoughts of omen. Is this a tiding of the end of days? Could this be a sign of hope, or serendipity? Now, of these 5 strangers, why don't you first introduce just your name, your character's name, race, and class that you'll be playing. I'll start on my screen. Lewis?
So my name's Ryan Lunabrook. I'm a human fighter.
Adam?
Adam here. I will be playing Faye Dalton, a warlock of the Fathomless.
Jackie?
My name is Jackie. My character's name is Micaiah Thanen, and she is a celestial warlock.
Kira?
My name is Kira. I'll be playing a Tabaxi rogue named Hush Aa Mbaya.
And Micah?
My name is Micah. I will be playing an Eladrin rogue, whose name is Quinn Lathrana.
Okay. So, now that we have an introduction to our group that specializes in double warlock and double rogue in their expertise, it's 2 days since this star went dark. And Quinn, you stand in the muddy city of Stormbreak on the northern edge of the Develny Isles, walking about under the hard pouring rain after a destructive storm has passed through this area, looking for direction and looking for some fresh work, some new adventure. As you walk further toward the main fortress of Stormbreak, where you've seen many times large flags be raised like sails, imbued with abjuration magic to try to prevent some of these magical storms from bearing their full might and power down upon Stormbreak and the Develny Isles. You come across a job listing board. You are not affiliated with the Stormbreak Sentinels, though they've been used to your presence here for a long time. As you approach, why don't you please roll an investigation or perception check?
First roll. No pressure. Okay. Investigation would be an 8.
All right.
Solid first roll.
That's a 3.
Oh yeah, it really sets the tone.
There we go. Party TPK inbound.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yes.
He's gonna be my
Just what I wanted.
I don't have a backup character.
I don't have space for a backup character. Come on.
You can have one
Can't
of my
both.
3.
Thank you.
So looking at this board, you see many job postings to replace some of the Stormbreak Sentinels who have passed on during recent storms. This is a fairly reoccurring event, as each storm that passes through is deadly. This force, this guardship here at the wall, is revered as the front line of defense against such a powerful natural magic anomaly. And replacements for current Stormbreak Sentinels are often needed. But one other job posting does catch your attention. You see, in bold print, it reads, "Deed for the well-traveled, skilled and tactful individual to help guard a fishing vessel to Rylay. Promised reward of 10 gold pieces and 2 sachets of awakened cinnamon. Speak with Captain Alder of the Ether's Advantage."
Is that name familiar to me already?
Roll history check.
Sure. That's another 3 for a 6.
You've never
I'll
heard
put
this
that
name
dice
before.
away. All right.
This does have a location listed in the fishing city of Aran, which sits just one island away from the southern shore of Stormbreak, just past the guard's burial, where you know the cemetery to be for fallen Stormbreak sentinels. As you stand here, rain pouring down on you, your muddy steps making footprints behind you, squishing in the very, very wet and lifeless ground. What would you like to do?
I think I will probably try to find somewhere dry for the moment.
Okay. Roll perception check.
I use a different dice. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
For a 22.
All right. You see one of the corner buildings that sits just off the edge of the fort of Stormbreak. A low-hanging, slightly tattered flag raised at half mast just above it, and you see the door kind of half cracked, and you would understand this to be a public space.
All right, I will head over that way to duck out of the rain for a little bit.
All right. As you make your way inside, you see several soldiers sitting on these long stone benches, sort of tending to some of their wounds. This most recent storm. Somebody roll a d6 for me, please.
I'm on it.
Oh.
5.
5. This most recent storm came battering down with strong acid rain, and you can see soldiers and guards tending to their fleshy burned wounds that they suffered during the event. Many of them look up at you, and you're used to getting strange looks from people in the Develny Isles. Some of them kind of recognize you as somebody who's wandered around and kind of put them on each other's. It's all right. She's been here for a while.
I'll give them a little
And
nod as I pass by.
they each nod to you. Some of them kind of nod while wincing in pain. You see these scarring burns from acid down their neck and into their chest, even burned portions of their armor. And you're able to find a dry spot on one of the benches. This is not a well equipped chamber. It's literally sort of a triage, or a space for reflection.
I'm going to take out one of the maps that I have. So I'm going to take it out of my pack and kind of shake it out a little bit to check to see how far off that fishing village was, which I didn't catch the name of.
This is called Arin.
Arin. Oh, so it's here.
It's here in the Develny Isles.
Got it.
The job listing says that the ship is meaning to depart from Arin and make its way toward R'lyeh. As you look at this map, you do see that Arin is just southeast of the southern tip of Stormbreak, and it seems to be a group of different smaller fishing villages making up one central community, but they're sort of separate from one another. The location listed in the job listing shows a fishing village that is on the western coast. You understand from traveling through these isles that you would be able to take even a small merchant or fishing vessel. There are ferries available too that go from island to island. There is a system here for that.
All right. Then I think I will probably head towards wherever the ferries are.
Okay.
To try to get one of those over to Arin.
Okay. So you walk out of this space and traverse down south as the rain is starting to let up quite a bit. The storm is almost completely passed through, and you make your way down over some rolling hills which separate the southern part of the island of Stormbreak. And you know that this way leads towards the cemetery, and just beyond it, there is a ferry station that can take you to Arin.
I'm going to take a brief moment to stop over by the cemetery just to pay some quick respects by what looks like the most freshly buried before heading back towards the ferries.
Okay. Roll for perception or investigation to try to find the most recent burials.
That's a 20 total.
A 20? You do see on the western edge, there actually are grave diggers that are filling in a couple of the graves. Fresh graves with headstones that have not been battered by the elements yet. There are specifically 4 that you see that are perfectly fresh. And as the grave diggers kind of finish their job and then walk away, you approach the graves, and what do you do to pay respects?
I'm just going to stand quietly for a while and just not knowing anything about them or who they were or what they did, but just acknowledge that, more to myself, but just sort of acknowledge that they were people who had other friends and family who loved them and are probably missing them dearly and wishing them well in whatever came after.
All right. As you go to turn and walk away to continue your travel, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no. Okay. Oh boy. That's a +0. So that's a 6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
As you finish your thought and your sentiment towards these recently fallen sentinels, you turn to walk away, but immediately your brain flashes for a moment. As you blink, it's almost as there's imagery behind your eyelids that you can't remove. Your ears in your mind are filled with the sounds of clubs beating into the ground, swung axes, the roars of creatures. You fall to your knees. But you're able to collect yourself for a moment. And you move on.
Kneel there for a minute. Take a couple deep breaths. Kind of scrub my hand over my face and then get back up and keep moving.
All right. You continue to move past the massive floral gardens that have been planted in this area. Different, lavenders, these beautiful blues and reds, orchids and violets that surround the cemetery itself. It's quite a beautiful sight. It's a nice final memory for when you depart from this place. You speak to the ferry captain. It costs 1 gold piece to take a ferry to Aran.
Marks that off. All right. I will pay him.
All right. Oh, off you go then. Get on board with the rest of them.
Appreciate it.
You step aboard the ferry, and it departs and makes its way toward the fishing village. The ride is just a couple of hours, as these two islands are pretty close to one another. And as you land shoreside, you can see a few fishing vessels, but one
Oh, well, this is interesting.
There he is.
So now the story
Watching a
is in
boat
our
go by.
hands.
Oh yes, time to kill the DM. Have free
Just
reign of
enjoying my
everything.
boat ride.
I mean, legally, if
Reminiscing.
the DM doesn't come back within 15 minutes, we get all the gold, right? That's
Pretty sure.
I think that's how
Yeah,
it works.
that's the
Yeah.
rules.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
exactly
those
how
are the
that
rules.
works.
oh, I mean, hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Uh, uh,
Look,
everyone, I'm
we didn't say
natural.
anything.
Sorry about
We're
that.
not conspiring for extra gold in our pockets or anything.
Sorry about that. So, one vessel catches your attention. Ether's Advantage. And it is just now breaking on morning as you have made this travel kind of before sunrise, maybe 2 a.m., leaving Stormbreak. You see the enormous yellow sun rising over the western coast. Sorry, eastern coast. That was silly. And outside of the vessel, as you land portside, you can see a water genasi. Somewhat sweaty looking fella, and based on the description given in the deed, you would recognize that this is probably the person that you want to speak to. So before we get there, Faye, it's the 6th of September, just at evening time. You have your intentions and you have your things packed. You decide to adjourn yourself to the Sweetwater Drinkery, the tavern that you enjoy drinking at least in your travels as whatever job it is that you did. Walking inside, you can see a lot of rowdy patrons, fishing people, kind of punching each other, rousing each other, swapping stories of their catches or the woes of the lacking day that they had at sea. And you see an old acquaintance sitting at the bar, sipping on a glass of whiskey. And you approach this person.
All right. So I'll pop a seat next to him and look over with a smile on my face as I raise a finger to the bartender, get myself an ale, and I say, Alder, how are you doing?
I'd say I'm doing quite well,
That's good.
considering.
That's good. That's good to hear. I've heard some of the youngins coming back saying, catches haven't been good, but glad to see you're doing well,
Well, the youngins have high hopes, and also don't know a thing about the sea. Oh, kind of like yourself.
Okay, I see how it is. I get out of the game, but you still can't let it go. All right.
You only beat me twice. Well, 3 times if you count the mistake.
Of course I count the mistake. But listen. I've been here long enough. I got things to do. I got places to go. So I think you're finally going to get what you want. I think you're going to finally get me to set foot on your ship. I'm looking to book passage off the Isles, and I heard the Advantage might be making a little trip soon.
Oh, you heard right. Despite what the youngins say, we've got ourselves a bit of an export contract. We have a large supply of shellfish. And as you would know, there's a Ryland holiday that's coming up. We've been asked to deliver our supply for great payment.
And Faye kind of pauses and thinks for a second. Well, Ryland is as good of a place to start as any. I've got a word to say to everyone, and well, why not start there? So
Start wherever you like, long as you're not competing with me. I mean,
don't.
it'll only increase my catch size by just a little bit.
But that just a little bit might finally be enough to make you the most effective on the island. Finally.
So what do you think? You want to lift? We're going to Persoth.
Assault?
Persoth. And we're
Persoth?
going to
Okay.
land in the city of Manyalu and take wagons to Raleigh, deliver our catch, get back on the fucking sea, and be gone.
Oh, yeah. I got to deal with you not only on your boat, but on the wagon ride over. Jeez. Listen, are you sure you shouldn't be paying me for this? I got to. All right.
Sure, I'll pay you. Hey, one whiskey, please. Someone slams a shot of whiskey down in front of you and says, Usually you just stick to ale, but time to drink up.
Ugh. She takes it, clinks it with him, does the shot. Good, I don't have to roll.
Roll a Constitution check, please.
Oh God.
Haha.
Hey, I'm looking at a 12. I'll take it.
A 12 is good enough to stomach a shot of whiskey. As you put it down, it sort of burns your throat. You don't drink this very often, but it never loses its burning sensation.
Yeah. And Alder, despite the back and forth, I'm sure he sprung for the good stuff. Or whatever passes for good stuff here.
You see him throw 2 gold on the table. It's really good whiskey.
Good.
It's a long journey ahead. Can only be drinking the best.
Well, thank you for that, Alder. Much appreciated. So,
If it helps get you out of my sight, I'll buy you just about anything.
well, I appreciate that. Yeah. I guess it's time to move on. I'll be setting passage with you and seeing where the waters take me.
Mm, mm. You won't be seeing a whole lot of water in a desert city, right?
Well, I'll be bringing my own, shall we say? And I kind of, reach into my pocket and I roll around the marble that I have in my pocket.
Got something fancy down there, huh?
Well, I mean, listen, Alder, we've known each other a while, but not not looking for that.
Yeah, nice try. Well, if you want to hop aboard the Advantage, 5:30 a.m. sharp.
5:30 a.m. I'll be on time. Let's hope you are.
Looks at the 3 empty shot glasses in front of him. Yeah, I think I'll be on time. I think.
It's all right. I can captain her without you if need be.
Oh. If you steal my ship, I'll have to report you to the Vizier. And, word might get to the king. And then they'll just be kicking you off the island.
Faye stands up and waves over her shoulder as she goes, "Your crew likes me better anyway, Elder," and starts walking out.
You hear a bunch of jeers and laughs as they all shout. She's like, "Shut up! I said just shut up! Just tone it down! You should be scrubbing decks."
Nice.
And you walk out, and where do you go for the evening?
Well, it is my last time on the Isles for now, and a lot has happened here. So she's gonna go do her meditation, her meditative speaks, so to speak. She's gonna head down to the shore, take off her boots, and kind of just wade in the ocean and let her feel it, let it fill her up for a bit.
All right. As you wade deeper, the water swallows your knees, your waist, and eventually it's just your head peeking above the water's surface. The soft light of the now 7 stars that gleam across the wavy ocean catches your eye. And eventually you hear, "Sink deeper."
Faye absolutely does, wholeheartedly. She closes her eyes and just leans back and lets the ocean take her.
A wave surfaces and comes over you and buries the rest of your body, your head fully submerged. You can feel the gentle, slimy touchings of some sort of force kind of gripping you, hugging gently, and then squeezing just a little bit as whatever this is just circling around you.
It's a familiar feeling for her. It's almost getting to be a more familiar feeling than her own bed, than being in her own home. So she just smiles as if she's like getting a hug from like a beloved parent or a good friend she hasn't seen in a while.
And it begins to tug you further downward. And you hear the voice creep back into your head. A city where moons are seen. They must know.
She 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 still smiles and she says, "Everyone will know. I know. Everyone will know what I know. They will hear of you."
Go ahead and roll a history check, please.
Roll a history check. It's a good thing I'm super not trained at that. Got an 11.
11?
Yeah.
You're not super sure what a moon is, but because there's not one that generally hangs in the night sky, but you do know that there is a holiday approaching, and it is a holiday specifically celebrated in R'lyeh. And you gather that maybe that's where you should be ending up anyway.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you feel the tentacles squeeze. They will know. And the tentacles drag you deeper and deeper and deeper. You feel the water pressure just crashing down on you, the weight just crushing your shoulders and your body, and eventually you lose consciousness. And what seems like a few moments later, you awaken on the shore. You cough and spit up water. And you
All
look
right.
up. You're surrounded by many fishing vessels, judging by. Why don't you roll a survival check, please?
Okay. Ooh, 19.
19.
Yeah.
Um, Judging by the sun, it's about 5 in the morning, and you are
Okay.
soaking wet.
I mean, that's perfect. Um, I mean, she loves it. So she so she stands up and she pats down her pockets, makes sure she's got everything she needs. Do I have time to make one last trip to the house, make sure I got everything I need there, or do I got to head straight to the boat?
If you act quickly, you can probably make it to the house.
Yeah, she'll hustle to her house. Just open the door, give a quick little look around, make sure everything's in order for whoever is coming to take over next. Because she didn't even really sell her house. She just told the village, like, "Listen, I'm moving. Do what you want with it." She's kind of done with material possessions in that regard. And she looks around and like there's a small part of her that feels like she should feel something, some sort of emotion about leaving the house, but mostly she's just excited to go out and spread the word, and so shuts the door and hustles back down to the ether.
All right. As you approach um, the ether's advantage, you see Captain Alder in mid conversation with somebody. Now, Quinn, as you approach this water genasi, he looks at you and says, "You're not some kind of beast or creature, are you?"
No, I can't say that I am. Are
Because
you
there's a
some
lot of
sort of beast
people
or
on this ship
creature?
if you're trying to eat me or something.
Have you never seen an elf before?
Are you an elf? You're
Are
kind
you some
of.
sort of water being?
Well, of course, look where you are. This is a system of islands. I am, yes, partially water.
And I am mostly elf. I heard you were in need of some help for your ship.
Oh,
The posting that she put up.
yes. I didn't
Does
expect
that
anyone to
still
respond to that.
stand, or has that position been filled already?
No, it stands. Are you well traveled?
Very.
Do you have skills?
A few that I think you might find useful,
Are you alive?
for the most part.
Strange. Sure, welcome aboard. I will pay you reward when we land in Manyalu. Uh, your name, by the way.
Quinn. I
Quinn.
assume you're Captain Alder then.
I am. Well, we're getting on very soon. So hop aboard.
Sure thing. I will go join the rest.
And you set your feet onto a mediocre at best fishing vessel. The nets are kind of thrown about in a bit of a disorganized way. You see people scrambling to try to get um, everything tied down and ready for a venture across a lot of sea and ocean. And Faye, you approach Captain Alder after seeing another person that you don't recognize walk away. Well, I thought you weren't going to make it on time. And as you can see, I'm right on time.
Well, I'm right on time as well. And I even had time for a morning swim.
Kind of looks at you. Why do you swim in all your clothes?
Well, because your crew has to pay for a show if that's what they want.
I guess that's fair to say. All right. Hop aboard if you want to ride.
All right, and squelch, squelch, squelch with some slappy, wet footsteps. Faye saunters right up onto the ship. Boat.
Okay. Shipboat. The vessel, if you will.
Yeah.
As you make your way to the main deck, you see a lot of familiar faces. You saw them all in the tavern last night. And you also see a very unfamiliar face. And you, Quinn, notice a very wet woman that has just boarded the ship. Like, not wet like working on the docks, like fully drenched. And you two can go ahead and describe your character appearances.
You can go ahead.
All right. Well, Faye is a fairly average person, 5'6", not really muscular. Not the strongest person on a ship. She's got shoulder length brown hair, sometimes tied back if she means business. Got dark brown eyes. She's dressed in just normal casual clothes. Yeah, just pretty much the same clothes as everyone else is on the ship is wearing. The only difference is that over that she's got just a normal suit of leather armor tooled with tentacles and waves all over it, which, is completely normal and not creepy at all. And, you know, other than that, she is just a very normal, completely normal, average person who happens to be soaking wet from head to toe. Normal.
Okay. And Quinn?
All right. And Quinn, you see a rather tall elf woman, full elf. She has white hair, and she looks to be older. You may or may not have seen full elves here before. Um, Usually they all look pretty young. This one looks like in human years she could be about 40 or so, which, in elf years is probably pretty high in number. Um, so she has white hair that's currently pulled back a little bit. She's got pale blue eyes and a little bit of almost looks like frost creeping over towards the sides of her eyes a bit, even though it's not that cold out here this morning. And simple clothes, darker in color, a little bit of a cloak, more muted, darker colors there. And she has this laurel around her head, a little bit of these dried leaves currently.
Hmm.
And she's currently just trying to help them with the nets that seem to be all over this deck for some reason.
Well, Faye notices the new face and walks up and shoves her hand out for a handshake, and as she does, water droplets go all over the front of your clothes, and she just goes, sorry about that. Faye, nice to meet you.
Quinn, she'll kind of shake her hand. Did somebody throw you overboard?
No, that was me. I decided to take a little morning swim. Calisthenics, get the blood pumping. She's got her hands on her hips as she looks around, and up this close you can see like her fingertips and around her lips, little bit of like a blue tint to them, almost as if like bloated submerged body. But again, it looks completely normal.
Do you work on the ship?
Oh, God, the ether? No. God, Alder wouldn't catch me dead working on this piece of crap ship. And she kind of yells that over her shoulder.
Oh, that's comforting. Well, I'm the newest hire, so hopefully it's not nearly as bad as you're making it seem.
She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and says, I'm kidding. And she leans in conspiratorially. Alder's a fine captain. Don't ever let him hear me say that. It's fine. We've got a little thing going. We both used to be fishermen, little thing.
Right, a thing going. I'll be
Yeah.
sure to keep that between us.
She gives you a thumbs up as she went.
Mildly confused by the whole interaction.
Well, what can I say? Faye is very friendly, and you are a new face.
So are you a passenger then? If you're not working on the ship?
Yeah, I booked passage with him. I figure it's time to get out and bring a little bit of the islands, to the rest of the world. Yeah. What brings you on passage for the ship?
The captain posted a notice about needing some extra hands, so I was looking for a bit of work. Seemed like a good combination, so.
Okay.
I've spent some time on boats before, so I know a little bit about the ins and outs. Figure I can handle myself pretty well on here.
Well, I'll be lucky to have someone like you in that case.
I appreciate it. And she kind of like awkwardly starts to go back to what she was doing.
Faye gives a big wave. Well, Quinn, I'll see you on the boat.
See you around the boat.
And you continue to gather nets and help to tie them down and stow them for the voyage. Eventually, the captain arrives on deck. All right, we're heading out in 5 minutes. Are we ready to go? And a bunch of the mates are like, yeah, we've been ready for a long time. You've been standing out there. We're ready to go. And they pull up anchor, and you begin your seafaring voyage around the continent of Persoth all the way to the south, and eventually you dock as we skip through the whole sea travel. Eventually
How
you
long was
dock.
it?
It was 4 days.
4 days. Okay.
Eventually you dock at sea, or at port in Menyalu.
These maps.
Hutch,
Yes.
welcome to the party. It's the evening on Intember 6th. You have just decided on the next step in your plan, in your journey. You stand here on the streets of Windermere, rain pouring down over you. There's not many folks about. It's about midnight. You're about a block away from the school. You can see. Why don't you roll a perception check?
Sure thing. 5.
5. It's raining real hard. And you know that you're just about 1 block away from the school. Looking around, you don't see it at first, but you do begin to see from an alleyway nearby. As you look and you see one banner covering another banner, covering another banner on the side of a building, you see a shadow pass over it, seeming to come from a humanoid figure.
She's going to dance her fingers along the hilt of her sword at her hip, and she's going to approach the shadow, see if she can tail it quietly.
Make a stealth check, please.
23.
23. You approach toward the side of this building, and you kind of put your back to the wall and just quickly peer around the edge. And you can see someone walking out. And you do see a familiar face. It's one of your old professors. A Canid Wenja named Husel. Professor Husel, if you remember. It's kind of looking around, and for those of you who don't know, Wenja is a race that is specific to Halgea. It is a race of people who are of small size, like halflings. They stand bipedal in humanoid form, but take on the visage of different wildlife, not just dogs and birds, insects, spiders. They're a bit of a sacred and mysterious race in the way that people look to them like wise creatures. This Wenja has the face and floppy ears of a dog, as he is a Canid Wenja, and more specifically, a white and brown spaniel type dog. And as he walks closer, I swear I just saw her.
Right here.
Oh,
If you don't mind me asking, don't you have class right now? You don't have an evening class at this time?
I do. But I was uh, looking for you.
What for? I don't have class right now. I'm out.
Wait. Much to my disappointment, it seems you don't have class at all anymore.
No, I don't. So why are you out here in the middle of the storm when you supposedly have class looking for me?
Came here to give you one last piece of wisdom and guidance.
And that would be.
I know that you think you're subtle and that you're secretive, but you're not as subtle and secretive as you think you are. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to find, or should I say, whom you're trying to find. And if I could be of help, I just may have something for you.
This thing that you're about to give me, would this be a trade for me to stay? Because I'm not buying it.
No, I don't want you to stay. You've already dropped out of school. You're going to be killed on the streets here someday, or captured. Whether you believe it or not, this is no place for you anymore. You do not have the protection of the school. You only have your ego to keep you alive. That, hush, is not enough.
Oh, really? You think so? It's fed me, it's taught me, and it's definitely kept me out of a fair amount of trouble. Definitely a bit more than I think I would get into without it. So I have my ego, as you say, as much credit to why I'm still here as I would maybe you and your wisdom that you're so keen on giving me when I'm in the middle of trying to leave.
As you're talking, he's opening a book, and you would recognize it to be an arcane spell book. He flips a few pages and just kind of nods as pretending to listen to you, and rips a page out of it. Kind of like puts his arm over it to cover it from the rain. You see the fur like gathering in droplets and just dripping onto the page.
She's going to quickly snatch the page and hide it under her cloak to keep it from the rain. And she's going to peek at the letters very curiously, but also slide him a quick glare and say, "Did you really have to rip that? Did you really?"
I don't need it anymore. I think you need it a lot more than I do. It will help you in time, but first you have to understand it. And as you look at the letters, what languages do you read?
I read Elvish, and that's it, and Common as well.
Okay. You can't read the language on this page. It just looks like some scratchy, thin letters, and you see some arcane symbols. Why don't you go ahead and roll for Arcana?
12.
12. The best you can gather from this page is that This is a spell of a nature that you don't have the capacity to comprehend. This is something you can use to find what you're looking for. First, you have to understand it. And I would
Yeah,
highly recommend talking to an old friend of mine who can help you understand. You will have no other way but your nose and your tracking skills. And that may not be enough. Please, let me help.
is this your way of helping? What are you trying to do?
This will help you find this person.
If you say so. I mean, it looks interesting at the very least, I think, but I can't read it. You wouldn't happen to have a glossary or an index that's going to help me decode whatever language this is written in?
You're so smart. Your glossary and your index is the world. It's time for you to go out and find it, and get out of Windermere. In fact, I have secured for you ship's passage to Persoth. Leaves in the morning. And this is where my colleague that can help you lives, in the city of R'lyeh, an artificer by the name of Tenevin.
Tenevin. Okay. And he's going to help me.
I don't know, I haven't spoken to him in years.
Oh, well,
But this is
that's
how
not
you
cool.
can try.
In my several years of being in this school, I have to say, you haven't failed me yet. So I'm going to trust your word on this one, Teach.
He kind of looks down at the ground and off to the side. I'm humbled to know that I hadn't failed you yet.
Now, don't
Please
go
follow
telling
through. Why would I tell anyone?
anyone.
Secrets between us. Shake on it?
Shake on it.
And preparing for a handshake instead, he just shakes out his furry coat.
She's going to have her arms in front of her, being pelted by all the rainwater that's splashing off of his fur. But she'll laugh it off. Thanks, Professor. It's pretty lame that it kind of ended this way. School sucked, but you were at least kind of fun and didn't always tell me what to do or get in my way that often. You.
I've got to tell you a secret.
Oh, you have
School
one too?
does suck. Yes, I do. School does suck.
Oh, that's not a secret.
Unless you find one thing that you've learned or one thing that you've liked, and that is enough.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of this rain. Uh, are you late for class? Right?
Oh, I feel dreadfully ill. I think I'll take the night off.
All
They'll
right.
figure it out eventually, right? Class is dismissed.
Well, if they're not there in the first 15 minutes of class, they get full credit, right?
What do you think?
I think you should all just slide them with an A. Call it a
Nice try.
day.
I hope I see you again.
I hope so too. I know so. I won't be gone long. At least I don't think so. I hope not.
I hope so. Well, I'm going to go shake off this terrible ailment that has befallen me.
Get well. And take care.
I'll see you around, Miss Umbaya.
See you later, Teach.
He kind of wanders off toward his chambers and eventually enters a door about a block down and leaving you here in the rain in the middle of the night.
Hush is going to take shelter underneath one of the nearby awnings.
Make an
Uh,
investigation check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you're able to navigate these streets very well, and you know about an awning that's kind of been broken and collided with another one that creates a really nice outdoor living space.
This'll do. Can she actually you mentioned banners. Were they really high up on one of the sides of the buildings?
They're low hanging.
Low hanging?
They're
Can she snatch one?
like one floor up.
Can she snatch one?
She doing it
She can climb.
stealthily, or is she doing it conspicuously?
Stealthily, I think.
All right. Go ahead and roll for stealth, and then roll for sleight of hand to remove the banner.
27 for stealth.
So it begins.
18 for sleight of hand.
You're a first level character, Kira. You're a first level character.
First level, high rolls.
Okay. So you sneak gingerly on your cat-like paws. You almost get into like the quadrupedal position and slink your way down into an alley. You see this banner that covers another banner. The banner on the front is a royal blue with a yellow face, and it looks like a humanoid face with like blonde hair, but it's just like an outline, and just kind of looking off into a direction, smiling, grinning big. And you undo the rivet that holds it up, and you undo the other one and just roll it up.
Yep. She's going to take that and attach it to the awning and make herself a nice cozy shelter until the morning.
All right. You would know this banner to be one of the living legends. And behind it, the banner that you have revealed looks to be a boot that is toes down and heel up, with smoky flames kind of trailing off the bottom of it. I think you know what that means.
She sneers, sticks out her tongue, and takes the banner she just had and walks off with a sour taste in her mouth.
All right. And you make yourself a nice little awning and banner tent fort in this back alley of Windermere. And do you intend to crash here for the night?
I do.
Sorry, guys. That's a doggy.
That's not a doggy. The professor's having nightmares. That's all it is.
Goes above and beyond to provide us with the background we need.
Very immersive.
Yes. There are cannon Wenja barking in the along the city streets. All right. So you lay down here and eventually you go off to sleep. Awake in the morning, you can hear the footsteps and the busy streets outside. You even hear the voice of someone call out, "My dear, I believe it is here that we put a banner last night. This is our territory, is it not now, Brockton?" "Yes, Brockton. I wonder where it has gone." "Never mind. We shall hang another one." And you hear like this body movement and this like armor clacking off each other, and um as you peer around the corner you see that the two Brochtons have rehung their banner over the other banner.
Bunch of bozos. But I shouldn't stay here. She's going to pack her things, kind of leave the banner and the awning in her little fort as it is, and she's going to sneak off unnoticed.
All right, roll for stealth, please.
19.
Oh my god. All right. You sneak off, utilizing the alleys and the shadier, darker parts of the city streets as your cover, and you successfully make your way out of Windermere. And it's just a short walk uh, up to the coast, where you can find ship's passage, and you have a slip that says that you can go on the ship.
I don't think I've ever been on a boat before. And she sees it. She sees it right in front of her.
Mhm.
Okay, so she's going to board.
All right. As you walk up, you see a half-elven gentleman that is kind of letting people aboard. This is again like a larger ferry ship that takes you from the outskirts of Windermere to different places. This ship is called the Auditory Glory, and you approach the half-elven gentleman. "All right, stop right there."
I did nothing wrong. I'm not a crook.
"That's suspicious."
I have a passage. I have a ticket. It's right here.
Winks at you.
Perfectly legal.
"Perfect. All I need to know. Get your ass on board."
All right, all right. And she goes.
All right. You board, and the passage slip also has a bunk room that you are allowed to use as your quarters, as this is also a 4-day ship ride to Manyalu.
Can I tell how extravagant this boat is?
Uh, why don't you roll an intelligence check for me?
23.
Cheapers. Um, you don't have much to compare it to, since this is really your first time seeing or boarding a ship, but the wood looks worn. Like, comparing it to like the streets and different buildings that you've seen, the wood looks worn. Some of the like cloth adornments on these large poles are just kind of tattered in different places. Um, it looks a bit run down.
This is comfortable. I like it here. She's going to find her quarters. She's going to set her things down, kick up her feet, and unfold the page that her professor had given her, mulling over those very confusing words, seeing if she can find any answers in it, even though she definitely won't.
All right. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check again.
11.
Despite your best efforts in reading it, It just doesn't make any sense.
She holds it upside down, turns it sideways. I don't know. This is a completely different language. Oh,
Roll a perception check, please.
12.
12. As you turn it sideways, you catch, just out of the corner of your eye, a few bunks down in front of you. Like you turn it sideways, and beyond the paper, you can see, kind of behind a wall, you can't see a body, but there's a foot that's stretched into the hallway that pulls its boot back into the bunk, just like a natural movement. But the boot itself, you recognize. It's a black leather boot with some tooled, like just slightly crimson flame that's etched into the heel of the boot.
She's going to quietly lean out of her bed and see if she can see the boot and see who that boot is attached to.
All right, you lean out of the bed, and there's a wall there's a wall that's blocking your vision of this person, and the boot like goes into the bunk area and becomes invisible for a moment. But then you see kind of like a shoulder kind of like scratch across the backboard of whoever is staying in this bunk, and a shoulder pops out. And you can see a familiar black cloak, not one of someone highly in power of this organization, but it is definitely a member of the Hot Steppers.
She's going to catch her breath and sink back into her bunk. Very quiet.
All right. Your bunk also does have a curtain that slides on a rail.
She slides it closed.
And there you remain, uh, keeping out of sight of this person for the next 4 days. I'm just going to make you. Why don't you roll a stealth check? We'll just roll one and roll it with advantage for the next days of ship travel.
And here come two natural 20s.
Oh, you were mistaken. They're both natural 3s with a total of 11.
11.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
About the third day in, as you decide that you have to go to the mess to get something to eat, you kind of slink your way through the decks of the ship, and you turn a corner, and you're facing directly at this person. And they give you a sly smile.
She gives them a cold, hard stare.
Well, look at this.
I'm sorry. Am I in your way?
I knew who you are. Sure, I'd be very upset to know that you've left.
Well, you can tell Churai to not be so concerned with me and to mind her own business.
The figure steps forward twice, getting just about within a foot to 2 feet of you.
She's going to take a step forward, her head cocked aside, and giving him a really malicious stare.
Make an intimidation check.
22.
Looks back at where the mess is, flicks you in the shoulder. Enjoy your meal. Your check was a failure.
Oh. Don't forget
And
my
kind of
choke.
brushes past you, kind of shouldering you as he walks by.
She scoffs and heads off, muttering under her breath, "I hope you choke," and walks off.
He doesn't seem to hear you. And eventually you land in the port at Manyalu. And your ship docks just after another one. You can see a lot of people, strange people from another place, leaving a ship. And eventually, you are allowed to leave the ship, and you all three find yourselves in the city of Manyalu. Looking about, there's a lot of halflings, some Wenja, and half elves. Not so many like full elves. In fact, Quinn, you're getting quite a few stares as you're walking through this place. Even one of
I'll just stare right back.
the halfling children kind of like points up. "What's that, mommy?" And the woman says, "I don't know. I think she's an elf." And kind of gives you that disapproving look.
Hmm. I'll just
You
keep
and
eye contact as I walk past slowly.
Faye's gonna lean over and kind of like give you a little side elbow and be like, "Quite a frosty reception, huh?" You can wink a few times, kind of look up at you hopefully.
Trust me, anything you can come up with, I've heard before.
You're gonna roll her eyes and keep walking.
all right, you see the disbanding group from another ship from another place. Eventually, Alder approaches the two of you and is like, "All right, so Faye, you're gonna be staying here then?"
I'm not sure. Might stay, might move on. Kind of depends on where the current takes me. Why are you looking for help?
Of your size? Definitely not.
She's gonna look offended and flex for a little bit, and nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens.
All right then. And you? You were a great help on the ship.
Know of any other work that might be around here?
Um, well, Celestium is on the horizon. If you guys want, you can deliver my shipment. I'll pay you right up front, so I can fuck right off back to the Develny.
Speaking of payment, not to put you out too much, but
Tell you what, I'll throw in an extra 10 gold, pay you up front, and give you 1 bag of awakened chamomile. If you take my shipment and that cart, bring it to Riley.
well, that I can do. I was talking more about the payment for this last job.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Pay you for the last job, pay you for this job. All right now, you can both be on your way.
Sounds fair to me. Are you joining me then? And she'll kind of look at Faye.
Faye will look back and forth between Quinn and Alder and be like, "Well, anything that gets him to fuck off out of here quicker is okay in my book. And you know what? I do kind of like you. You're very fun. Oh yeah, I'm down for the journey." And she'll smile and shake Alder's hand a little bit.
All right. He kind of shakes your hand back. You're always sweaty. But then again, I am too. All things aside, it's been a pleasure to travel with you.
Oh, it's been mostly a pleasure to travel with you.
I'll see you next time you come back.
Keep yourself safe, Alder.
Drinks are on you, Faye. And Quinn, thanks very much for responding to my deed and for the help.
Anytime. If you have anything else and you see me around, let me know.
I reckon I will. While this conversation is happening, Hush, you are kind of walking through the city. You see a water elemental person, a icy looking elf, and a somewhat drier, but probably has taken a few swims in the last couple days, half elf, that are having a conversation near a cart, and one word catches your attention as they said, Riley.
Oh, I'm here. That wasn't that bad or too long. She's going to dismount the boat and enjoy finally being on solid ground.
Make a
And
dexterity saving throw.
Oh, the rogue has to make a dex saving throw. Oh boy.
18.
18. Your legs get a little shaky as you step onto the ground, but you're able, like, they just feel like jello for a moment, and then you catch yourself and you right yourself.
Oh. 4 days on sea will do that to you, I guess. Why is Quinn and oh goodness names Faye nearby?
Yeah, they're like talking near a cart over there, and that's where you heard the word Riley from. You know you're in the city of Menyalu right now, but you hear them talking about this place.
She catches the smell of fish and very old seawater. And she is looking toward the cart and sees them. And she's going to approach and say, "Did you say we were in Riley?"
Faye's just going to immediately turn around and be like, "No, but we're going there."
Oh, okay. So you're going there and you're going there too?
And the cart. Yes.
Oh, wait. The cart. What's in the cart?
Yes. She's going to turn to Quinn. Actually, what did Alder have? A shellfish, was it?
I'm not quite sure we should be, shouting about whatever the contents are to anyone who walks up. And she'll kind of give Faye a look.
Hey, well, I mean, she seems trustworthy.
I mean, I have money. You want money for some shellfish?
She's got money.
I'm not sure that we should be selling the captain's supplies that he wanted delivered. That seems a bit disingenuous.
Oh, you're following orders from a captain. Okay. So, alright. I won't take your shellfish. It seems a little up there on your list of priorities. So, that's not really anything that I'm particularly interested in. But I'm more so interested in being able to have a nice, quick, easy way to Riley. And you two seem like you're going in the same direction, so why not?
Well,
I mean, I
I'll concede your.
suppose there's no harm in having you come along.
Yeah. Alder did say, to deliver the shellfish. Didn't say anything about making a little extra money with passengers on the side.
There's money involved in this too?
Oh, mm, for us.
Money involved, as in you paying us for your safe passage to Riley with the rest of us.
I'm paying you for safe passage to Riley.
You wanted to come with us. You're welcome to make your own way there. Makes no difference to me.
How much?
You two can make an insight check. Faye and Quinn.
My insight again. 17.
14.
Quinn, you can kind of tell, being a well-traveled person, that Hush doesn't seem rich, but seems like she's got a few extra trinkets and not super nice clothes, but maybe knows her way around different ways of acquiring things. Also, Hush, you can describe your character to the other characters.
I was waiting for that.
So Hush is a tabaxi with narrow golden eyes and sharp red paint stains smearing her cheeks and eyelids. She has one floppy ear and another pointed and chipped, studded with silver cuffs and chains. Her violet hair is tied into a spiky side ponytail with a ribbon and a bell that chimes as she moves. And she wears a very tattered blue banner as a cloak that only covers her right arm and part of her back, bearing a symbol splashed in paint. The symbol resembles the profile of a beast's head atop an abbreviated, luminescent arcane circle framed by claw marks. She's wearing a soft leather one-piece suit that has short frills at the hem of her hip, and her legs are covered with a thin leather material, daggers, and brushes affixed to her thigh. She has a long, bushy tail with dark stripes coiling around it. And she points at you two and says, "Hey, how about this? For the sake of brevity and not having to worry about exchanging money in the middle of a crowded area like this. Especially not around some really good goods that you seem to be a little careful with when you're trying to deliver it. If you're looking for safe passage to Rylai, I can pay you in my services. I happen to be quite well adventured and experienced in dealing with troublesome folk that might come along your path."
Faye's going to look over at Quinn.
I think you can come along for now. We'll see how useful you are.
Fair enough to me. I'll try not to get on your way. You just go ahead and lead, and I'll follow along.
Faye is again going to shove her hand out and be like, "Faye Dalton, pleasure to meet you."
Hush. Umbaya. Pleasure to meet you too. And you,
Okay.
tall, illustrious one?
Oh no, it cut out.
Oh,
Oh, I'm asking for your
It
name.
froze, sorry.
Do you have one? Did you buy yours?
I'm Quinn. Now, do you go by Hush or do you go by Umbaya?
Hush, specifically.
Good to know. You can just call me Quinn.
Fair enough. You two go ahead and lead the way.
All right. And as you take this cart and begin to make your way across pretty brutal desert, but at least only a short part of the desert. On your journey, you would see an enormous mesa off to your north as you are traveling west. You pass the mesa and it's like kind of tall, even for a mesa. It reaches really high towards the sky. As you travel a little while further, looking back at it, it's not quite in the same shape that it was the first time you saw it. It's kind of strange, but also could be just dehydration or perspective of the shifting heat in the desert. Nevertheless, you take this road all the way to Rylai, where Off in the distance, you can see these very, very tall spires, these brass and granite, like almost like smokestacks that reach up, and you hear this faint hum, this. It gets louder, and then you just see. And this bright blue discharge coming from one, and then one on the other side of the city. You travel further down the road, and you start to see the walls of the city. Enormous granite walls with brass shelves that kind of lean over and curve below. And this road leads directly to a set of brass gates. These gates, as you look, on their left side, it looks like a sitting brass dragon, but the only thing that defines this dragon is that the brass bars are interwoven to be shaped like a dragon. As you look to the other side, the brass bars are interwoven to kind of form into these large, like brass gear plates that seem to interconnect and look like gears. You finally make it after about another day's journey to the edge of these gates. Expecting to be stopped and coming from the places that you're from, you guys kind of stop for a moment, expecting interrogation or conversation. Instead, the gates just begin to open. As they do, they open, and you can hear the chinking sound of chains being pulled. You don't see anybody pulling them. But an illusion takes hold where you see the brass bars kind of like manipulate themselves, and it looks like the dragon unfurls its wings and then beats them and kind of like flies almost off screen, off the side of the gate, and the bars just interweave into this like intricate pattern. On the other side, the gear plates just begin to turn on each other as that side of the gate opens. And before you, clad with large granite and brass towers and less impressive flat buildings, you may enter the city of R'lyeh. And we're going to pause right there. Anyone up for taking a quick 5-minute intermission?
Sounds good to
Yeah,
me.
Sure.
sounds good.
Alrighty, so we'll be back here
We'll
in
get to the
about.
rest of the party eventually.
That's where we're going when we get back. So we'll be back here in about 5 minutes. We'll say 6:42 p.m. Eastern time, which would be
Okay.
10:42 p.m. for Lewis. Awesome. See you in a bit.
All right.
Sure thing.
See you in a bit.
I ain't going nowhere. I already went to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
same
much.
there. Oh boy. Some fun things so far.
I mean, I don't know how to put it, but like, she needs to accept that Faye has decided that Quinn is her new best friend. Just
Perfect.
the second that that she showed up and she was like, "I'm Quinn," and I was like, "Oh, best friend."
Yeah, if there's anyone new in the stream, I mean, this is a new stream, so of course everyone's new, but drop a follow. Yeah, thank you for
Don't forget.
following.
Oh god.
I know,
Hmm.
I'm a shill. What can I say?
Jackie, you got a little bit of something, brown on your nose there. You might want to.
Oh boy.
So, do you think Do you think RJ would be okay with us outsourcing all of our attack rolls to Luna over there?
God, I hope
Good
not.
lord.
Them rolls.
The rolls were ludicrous.
Jeez.
Level 1 character. He's brought this on himself. Just saying. He's brought this on himself.
Well, I mean, the weird thing is like it's all built in D&D Beyond. Like that's just how that level 1 character is.
Oh man, I've had so much caffeine. That's how much I've had.
Oh wow,
It's not that much.
you had like what, like 2-3 ounces of tea? Ooh, goodness. You're gonna be up for minutes, maybe even like 30 of
I'm gonna
them.
be up till 11 o'clock.
It's
That's
so sad
late.
that that's true.
This right here is my 5th can of soda today.
Oh my god.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 9. So we did not see any excited yells from over on your end, Lewis. I guess Wales isn't doing so good.
They lost in the final minute.
Oh,
Yikes.
Yeah, real not fun. Real not fun to watch. Not gonna
Pow,
lie.
pow.
Ouch.
and yeah, that's it. They're out.
No. That was the last game. They still lead the championship, but the team they
Okay.
played could still win the championship if they win the next game with bonus points. It's all confusing. So, they've still done really well, but they could have won the Grand Slam, but they didn't, which is really annoying. But, oh well.
Oh well.
Yo, my dinner did not fill me up. I'm gonna need some more food at some point.
The stream is so far behind.
Well,
Really?
Mel's been
I
telling.
have to pull
Mel's
up on
got
my
some.
phone. We haven't even gone to the break.
Mel's got some feedback that she's. I'll send. I think if she sent to you, Jackie.
She hasn't sent me anything, but
I've got stuff I'll forward on.
yeah, I'll change it. I'll change bitrate and everything like that for the next one.
Yeah. This was a test after all, really. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is just pretty much to get cameras and volume and stuff sorted. So.
Yeah.
Is this currently on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So no gamer words, people. No gamer words.
Yeah, I'll have an intermission. Well, I think we're gonna have an intermission screen, and be able to turn all the sound off and everything like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because on the stream we're still RJ's still describing the city.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not that far
Right
behind.
now?
Well, I mean, it's a good couple minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it'd be maybe 30 seconds, not a whole.
I still
It's
gotta
gotten.
I gotta play with the internet settings a bit. But if I do that now, then it'll stop and restart the stream, and I'll play with it sometime during the
Reach
day.
your
Yay, test
technomancer
session.
hand into the internet, into its very fabric, and pull out the red wire.
You've got a character sorted already. My God, you've already
Am I
figured
gonna be
it
part
out.
of the NordVPN universe?
Oh God.
Oh, jeez.
No more of that.
This
That
stream
thing
not
is just
sponsored by
getting ridiculous.
NordVPN.
Are we still on stream?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So be
Well, I
aware
hope
of
this
what
has
you
been
say.
pleasant so far. But let's jump back in. Meanwhile, in the city of Rylay, it is now Intendber 10th. Ryan, with hammer in hand, trying to work on a decently crafted piece of a breastplate. You continue to hammer and hammer And eventually you hear Krunda. Why are you doing it like that?
You didn't tell me otherwise. I thought this was the way we're doing it.
No. You start from the exterior, work your way towards the middle. Form the shape on the outside first.
Like this, I'll trying to form it a bit more, like kind of this sort of way, or do I do it this way? Kind of how exactly? Go on, like comment on me
Right.
as I'm doing it.
So she walks up next to you and kind of grabs your hand and takes it and strikes the edge of the breastplate, and you can see part of it like kind of flare and form just a little bit. Now you see the contour get a little bit bolder. Then you make your way towards the middle. You don't just hammer things in the middle of the plate. That's how you screw it up.
I'll remember this for next time.
But you're learning pretty quickly. You're doing less shitey work lately.
It's the nicest thing you've said to me in all the time I've known you.
And you don't forget it. Don't forget who taught you. You'll be all right in time. Probably not as good as me, but how could you be?
You know what they say about the apprentice and the master, eh?
No, I don't. I pay attention to my work, not limericks.
Let's just leave it between me and you then.
All right. We're going to finish up just the edge. Remember, just the edge of the outside.
You got it. I'll start hammering away at the edge, trying to
All
form it in the same way she did.
And in a strange event, your first roll of the campaign will be with Smith's tools.
Which I do not have proficiency with. That's a natural 18.
Plus your strength modifier.
24
Your strength modifier?
is a +4. Yeah.
Okay, 22.
Yeah, sorry, 22. I meant 22.
That's okay. I was like, I didn't know if you rolled for a saving throw.
No.
You actually make some decent progress. You catch on fast to what she was saying and beat at least the left side of the plate, and it kind of shapes and forms. It's like, oh, not bad. Not bad. Or should I say, less shite.
I'll take not bad.
Well, work day's done. I got other stuff to do besides teaching you. Got to finish some projects for some clients. You can go home. Did all right today, Ryan.
Thanks. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Right, you will. And as you make your exit, you remember that you had a plan to meet a good friend at the Common Steps, the central courtyard of Rylay. This is the place where there's street vendors that are out there shouting, selling different small wares and trinkets, but mostly snack food for hardworking people. As you walk across the courtyard, you can see on the edge there's the rail track where the magically enchanted carts run on the rails with their wizard cab drivers. One pulls up and kind of stops. A few people get out. He's like, all right, it's time for payment. People pay him. And then you see this like arcane scripting in the air as the cart continues to move around the rail system.
It always fascinates me, those scripts. Can I note them down? Over time, I'll have noted down what they look like. just want to try and keep an idea of it.
Okay, roll an intelligence check. For this-
15.
15?
Mhm.
Pretty.
Okay. For future, and I'll keep going to the courtyard.
All right. You and your friend have a designated meeting place that's just between two concession stands of two foods that you both enjoy greatly. The stand to the right is a well-known street mofongo seller, and the stand to the left is a very rowdy peddler of spice beads, which are these small little brown sugar, cinnamon, and caramel treats that are like deep fried and usually served in a parchment cone.
I'll try and get some spice beads if I'm there first.
Okay. You see this person just working with like 5 different customers at once. He's like, "All right, 2 for you, 2 for you, 2 for you, 4. Okay. 4 silver, 4 silver, 4 silver, 8 silver." And they all kind of like, and they're quickly like shuffling and serving. It looks like a food trailer at a fair, as this process is happening super fast. And eventually you step up, you're used to this process. And he points over, goes, "And for you, lad,
2 for me.
2 for you, 4 silver."
Here you go. Toss it over.
And he hands you 2 parchment cones. What they both have like these twine kind of tying the bottoms of them so things don't fall out the bottom. But you have these 2 cones of spice beads, the grease from them kind of slightly bleeding through, causing staining to the parchment.
Hope she's here soon. A bit wetter than usual.
She
And
hasn't
I'll just
arrived
go to
yet.
I'll go wait in in the standard spot.
Okay. And Mickey, as you hang out here in the house of the comfortable home of a familiar halfling, a modest home with an arched doorway, a kitchen and living space a bit too small for you, but you've made it your own. She has a piece of wire strung up on a pulley system. She has a bit of like a coiled tube around one side of the pulley, and she pulls, and she's like, "Mickey, could you help me pull?"
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll reach over and I'll just yank it down.
And you help pull and pull and pull, and the thing stretches tightly. She kind of like turns the coil and presses a button, and it just. She takes her hands away slowly. "Let go slowly."
Okay. And I'll slowly open my hands.
And it seems to lock into place. She's like, "I think it worked. We've got to give it the real test."
What is it,
And she
Magda?
starts hanging like different hangers of clothes on it. She's like, "It's a retractable clothesline."
Genius.
And just as soon as you say genius, the coil ting ting ting, and it springs. The wire shoots. All the clothes fall off of it.
Oh.
Well, what do we say about failing the first time?
Sis notes for the second time.
That is right. That is right. And Magdi is an old, shorter halfling wears commoner's clothes, mostly greens and blues. Some of them are some of the stitchings are like dyed with pink. She wears humble clothes with these pretty beautiful colors that she likes. She's got this swept back white and gray salt and pepper hair, and a very warm smile that you remember for all of your childhood. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds okay. And if it doesn't work tomorrow, there's always the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. You know, no big deal.
I'm glad you're excited too. It's just really a lot of fun, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, what are you up to this afternoon?
Oh, shoot. I gotta go meet Ryan. I'm late.
Oh, best not keep a friend waiting. That's just rude, and you know what we say about rudeness.
It's not tolerated. Right. I know. I know.
Oh. Run along, Mickey. I love you.
I love you too,
Hope you have
Magda.
fun.
I'll see you
And she
later.
kind of gives you a hug around the waist.
Hug her back.
All right. You rush off to the common steps. As you do, like you kind of go to leap over part of the track that the cabs run through, and one cab is just coming like pretty quickly, and you stop and catch yourself just before, and it just goes past you, and you carefully.
Yeah, that's not happening today. No, no, no.
And eventually make your way to the um, between these two booths where you usually meet with Ryan.
What do I see? Do I see Ryan around?
Make a perception check.
19.
19. You see a uh, you see a human tapping his foot, two cones of spice beads in hand, and looking around and kind of looking and looking a little impatient.
I'll just yell out, Ryan! Ryan!
Ah, hey, Mickey, over here. What
I'll
took you
run
so
over.
long?
I was helping Magda out. She's coming up with some kind of new invention. What are those?
Spice Beats, here. Got one for you.
Oh,
I know you like
you
them.
spoil me.
I had a decent day at work. Why not? Why not treat myself?
So you didn't mess up the breastplate then?
Getting better. Tools are a bit weird. You know, I'm not quite used to the hammer, the way it feels, but it's a bit shorter than what I like. So it's a bit weird, but getting there.
That's good. I'm glad to hear.
I was called not bad. It's the best thing I've heard all
Not
year.
bad.
I know.
And you know what? It can only go up from there.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go with that. Anyway, I haven't had these in ages, so I'm quite excited to try.
Yeah.
Where do you want to head off?
I was looking to get something going on in my sketchbook. Where can we find something interesting?
Well, give me just one moment. Did not type my writings into my computer yet for this, so let me just awkwardly thumb through my notebook. Here we go. Okay, so what you would know about Riley. There is Zeron Arena. That's where the Inventors Fair is held every other year. It is in the Insight Ward. It is a large, obviously, the whole theme of the city is brass and granite, but it is a large stadium. It is also, as you know, where part of the main viewing for Celestium takes place. People gather on the outer ring on the highest point to try to see the moon as it can only be seen here. There's the mansions in the Insight Ward that belong to the city's government. There is, in the Labor Ward, there is the Catalyst, which is a large system of towers. It's several very small towers surrounding one larger one, and it harbors a lot of the underlying magic that powers the tracks for the cab system. There's the halls of the inventors in the Wonder Ward, where you can see the plaques of all the people who have won the Inventors Fair in the past. And it is just this great long hallway with a lot of plaques and statues. It describes what invention they created that has been essentially sewn into the culture here. There's a cookie shop in the Market Ward, a famous cookie shop, and a broad cookie shop that has been franchised from another country, another place entirely, another kingdom. In the Market Ward, there's a shop called Found Fundamentals. There is, this is a place where they sell crafting components. There's the Relegates Hub, which is a small community of laborers and where they live, like where they stay to, go to their job and back every day. Mostly cabbies and construction people live there. There's the Stargazer Citadel in the Wonder Ward, which is a very, very tall tower with essentially an astronomy tower at the top, an astronomy chamber. There is a tavern in the Inventors Ward called the Brass Tracks Tavern. It's kind of a little place. It's attached to a flat, and as you would know, flats are these like long flat buildings that have usually 8 different spaces. It's divided into 8. It's like laboratories for rent for people to do their work in. It's usually shared by several folks and very chaotic. Like there's a lot of hustle and anxiety in these places. The Brass Tracks Tavern connects to 2 of them. Riley also has an aquarium. Being of a desert city, it is a large tourist attraction, at least for the people of Brisoth, that they should be able to see fish every once in a while. There is the Geest House, which is a very wealthy tavern in the Wonder Ward. It's for rich people to go out and drink and do their aristocratic biddings. There are here the common steps, and there are several famous wizards and artificers' towers throughout the city.
I quite like the astronomy tower. I feel that's always good fun. But I feel like we go there a lot.
We do, and I was looking to kind of people watch today. I need to practice with, facial structures and whatnot. I am
Yeah.
out of practice.
Well, Celestium's coming up, so maybe there'll be people around the meeting place for that. So
Around the arena?
yeah.
That'd
I'd
be
also
cool.
like to see how they're prepping for it.
Yeah, Sounds
there
good.
must be stuff going up. So if you wanted to go there, I want to have a think about a couple of things. Anyway, so people watching sounds good to me.
If you need to talk, if you need to talk to me,
Oh,
you
I
know
know.
you can.
No, it's I've been thinking about something to do, something to make, but I'm not quite good enough with my tools yet. But the ideas are whirring around my head.
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. That's why the apprenticeship's good. Gets me better with my tools. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go people watch.
All right, sounds good.
It's more fun.
And Ryan/Lewis, you are very right. Celestium is coming up, and there are tourists quickly funneling into the city. You see people from all different places and walks of life, recognizing that this happens every year. But one thing you notice is that this year there seems to be a few more. In fact, many more. The streets are becoming crowded. And as you make your way towards the arena, there's a lot of people. You can hear these scattered conversations, people chatting with one another. And essentially, a lot of the sentiment is let's just hope the moon actually does rise, as the entire population of Halgea watched one of their 8 stars go out 2 days ago. People are hoping that things stay the same. And that's why there's been, actually, at this point, it would be 6 days ago that happened. People are hoping that the moon does rise just for this one night.
I think people are more worried than I am. This is not usual.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nervous energy going on here.
See, she's just bent down, just hastily sketching in her book.
I want to take a look if there's any kind of stalls that are up for in the arena for Celestium, or if it's kind of just too crowded to see.
If there's any what? I'm sorry.
Like stalls or other celebration stuff that's up yet, or if it's a bit too crowded that I can't see them.
As you look past the crowd into the large open doors of the arena, go ahead and roll a perception check. Mickey, if
19.
you wish to roll 2, you may.
15.
19 and 15. Ryan, you do see that there are concession stalls and things of the sort, like souvenir stalls, being installed and being constructed very quickly. There is a lot of hustle and bustle inside. Seems to be more than normal.
It's busier than it usually is.
Huh? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
They seem later too. They're usually up by now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's see your sketches. Come on.
Okay.
Facial features.
Spins it around. And it's actually a really good likeness of a lot of furrowed brows, a lot of wrinkles, a lot of frowns. Just hastily drawn sketches.
It's looking pretty good.
Different faces.
Hey, I was watching the cabs earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see? Those sigils that come up.
Yeah.
Have a look, and I'll show her my sketchbook of the sigils. So I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, that's really close. What are you gonna do with those?
I just want to look at them. They're just cool. There's not. I don't have. My hands are not made for weaving stuff like that.
Sure.
So I don't think I'll be able to do that. But I can
You
draw.
do
I can
whatever
see
you
them.
put your mind to. You know that.
I think magic might be out of my reach. I don't know.
Turns the book around and just starts staring at you and kind of drawing a little bit.
Please, why are you drawing me? Draw someone else. No, please. Please stop.
And spins it around, and it's just your face with like magic sparkles around it.
It's lovely. I love it.
Here, I'll rip it
An
out.
alternate
Hand it to
universe.
you.
Thanks. I'll pop it in one of my breast pockets. I'll keep it as a good luck charm.
Good. For the magic you'll
Maybe
learn
I'll do.
someday.
Maybe I'll do better than not bad tomorrow.
You will do better than not bad.
I don't know. Today was pretty good. Be hard to beat it again.
So as you are out here sketching things and having conversations and just catching up as friends, observing the difference between this year's Celestium and previous years, one thing catches both of your attentions. That outside the arena, usually there's a something that starts very early on is that the arena becomes painted magically, just with like depictions of like different shaped moons and artistic interpretations, and it just goes around the ring of the very top level of the arena. There's usually like scaffolding and people up there painting. It's happening right now, which is very, very late. And you do notice that one of the painters is kind of staring down exactly in your direction at the two of you and has kind of stopped her work.
Like we're being watched.
Huh?
Look up there. I'll don't make it obvious.
I'll look right up.
I said don't make it obvious.
You give a wave, and then the person staring just it is a strange looking tiefling. She, rather than being like a red or a rust color or even like a purple color, is somewhat of an like ashy white, and looks down at you waving and just slowly turns her head and continues her painting.
And that's how you get people not to stare at you anymore.
You know I don't like it when people stare at me.
Well, now you don't have to worry about it.
Sure. Okay. Where to next? Do you want to go inside?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah. Let's go.
Right.
Go inside and find a seat.
You go inside and find a place to sit, just watching the stalls being built and the different concessions and souvenir stands within the arena being constructed. You can see the paintings of just these different moons kind of on the canopy tops of these places. And you just sit there and share this moment together. And meanwhile, the other three of you successfully complete your delivery, which happens to be near the arena. You deliver to the person that that you were told to deliver to. They tell you that they're going to send their payment via courier to
Older.
Alder. Thank you. I was just going to look it up. To Captain Alder, back in the Develny Isles. They thank you for your work, and the three of you are now in these very largely crowded streets. Just massive crowds that you, at least for Faye and for Hush, you haven't really seen crowds of this size before, or been to the Celestium celebration before.
Okay.
You know the date is coming. You're not really sure what it's about. And Quinn, you have genuinely no idea what this is for.
Is this place always this crowded, I wonder?
So Faye's just like looking around in wonder, and she's like, "It is so dry. Ooh, She's like looking down at her clothes. She's like, I mean, so what are 3 new friends good to do in this city?
I mean, first we could take a look at the paintings. I mean, you see over there on the scaffolding, they're making some really, really nice art. Actually, you two stay here, don't move. I don't want to take a look.
All right. Yeah, Faye's.
Try not to get yourself in trouble.
I will make no such promises, and she's gone before they know it.
You dart off towards the scaffolding and looking up at the paintings. And what do you wish to do here?
She's just going to note the delicate paint strokes, the very deliberate artistic choices that the painters are making. She's seeing how the paint seeps into the fabric, and she is immediately looking at the her own messy paint job on her own cloak that she'd made, looking at them and seeing where she can improve in the future.
All right. Go ahead and roll a general intelligence check, please.
19.
19. You do notice some of the stroke techniques that they're using are different than the ones that you use. In fact, very much different. It's more of like a multi-stroke process that they're going through to paint these moon shapes. You're not super sure what they're depicting, but it's very pretty. You do take note of some of the strategies.
She's going to approach someone nearby, seeing if she can ask around and answer her questions about what the heck is going on in such a busy city right now.
You see a pimple-faced human male teenager with this kind of like swept back blonde hair, raggedy clothes with a hood. And he's kind of looking up like, whoa.
Whoa.
Hey,
That's
oh, you're so quiet. Who are you?
Don't worry about that. I have a question for you.
Okay. Don't hurt me.
I'm not. Where'd you get that crazy idea? I just have a really simple question. Um, so you live around here, right?
Uh, like in this ward?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't
Look,
live in this ward. I live in the market ward.
oh, well, it's really crowded here. Any reason why? Is someone getting ready for something really interesting, or?
Oh, 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 you're a tourist. Oh, um, why would you come be a tourist if you didn't know it was happening?
Ah, nothing too important. I'm just here on business. But since I'm passing through, I must say I'm a little curious as to what's going on around here.
Uh, it's Celestium in a couple days.
Celestium.
Like the astral body, like rises. It happens once a year. You never heard of this?
Can I make a history check to see if I have?
Sure.
17.
17. You know of the word Celestium and that it's a holiday, but you're not really sure what the holiday celebrates. You do know that it happens here, though, or at least somewhere far away from where you grew up.
Pretty interesting. So when does that happen? On what day?
It happens.
It's in 3 days, I think. And 10th
Two
and 13th?
2 days.
2 days?
I think we said it was the 10th.
No, we're past the 10th. I think it's today. I think today's the 10th right now.
Today's the 10th.
Oh, yeah. So
It's in Tenber 13th.
Yeah.
It's 3 days away.
Okay. Now, where could I... Okay. To save you some trouble, do you know where I could buy a map of Riley?
Like go to the market ward and there's like 2 map stores there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Can you
Thank-
read common?
I can read.
All right, well, you reading the signs outside the buildings, it's going to be a lot easier for you to find the map stores than for me to describe it to you. But I will tell you, there's 2 of them.
Okay. Is there one that's more cool than the other? Or why are there 2? Why can't there just be one?
Because that's how a free market works. They kind of compete with each other.
Competition. All right. I'll check it out. See which one I'm willing to support. Thanks, though, for the information.
You got it.
She's gonna spin on her barefoot heel and she's going to go find Faye and Quinn and say,
Oh,
"Hey,
I've wandered off to go get food.
no! I told her to stay."
Faye is standing exactly where you left her.
Quinn is
You
gone.
are loyal and you followed splendidly. Do you know where Quinn went?
She said she went to get food, which shouldn't be far.
Okay. So why don't we go find her first? And then we can pick up a map of this enormous city, since I think we're stuck here for a while, yeah?
That sounds like a good idea.
Cool. Now, for a city this big, I bet there's 1, 2, 500 different places for her to go eat, right?
I mean, yes, there's a lot of. Hold on one second. And Faye's going to take in a deep breath of air, put her hands around her mouth, and she's just going to top of her lungs, Quinny! As loud as she can.
Oh my
Make a
god.
performance check. Make a perception check, please.
Oh my god. I need to stop using this dice.
16 on the performance.
4 on that perception check.
All right. So,
What the fuck,
Quinn,
Micah?
have you noticed and wandered into the arena to go get food?
She would have
'Cause
been
there's,
kind of
like-
following her nose. Like if there was
Yeah.
something nearby, like a food stall nearby, she would have
So-
just wandered there. So not necessarily far, just
That's you guys were outside the arena, so that's kind of where you would follow your nose to.
Mhm.
And you find some snack stands inside. People are calling out for tamales and spice beads, pickled okra. There's chili stands. There's mofongo stands. People are selling what's called soaked cactus, and you've never heard of this before, but it's like a roasted pickled cactus. It's really really weird desert food. And people selling bread, hush puppies, falafel, little meat skewers and stuff like that.
I think she will wander over towards the cactus. She wants to try the cuisine of this location. So
All right. Could I help you?
yes, I'll have one of whatever those are.
A soaked cactus?
They
All right,
smell
here.
good.
1 silver for 2 servings. 2 silver for 4 servings.
Give me the 4. I'll toss in 2 silver.
All right. You're handed kind of like these small containers that are deep and kind of wide. And they have just like these wet cactus pieces. You smell them. They smell a little bit like char and like pickled like vinegar brine. And you take them along with you. Meanwhile, the 2 of you, after calling out, you hear nothing.
We've had no luck with our in-depth investigation.
Have you wandered away from the spot where I left you? Because she's heading right back there.
No.
All
No.
right. So you wander back with like these 4 containers of this like cactus stuff and find the other 2 people in your in your company.
Hey, what happened? We told you to stay.
Well, I wasn't sure how long you were going to take up there. I was getting hungry.
I only left to go ask a question. Jeez, you're impatient.
As she's talking, I'm just going to push one of them towards her.
What's this?
I don't know. Smelled good.
How do I start? Is it prickly?
It
I
doesn't
think they
have
prefer
cactus
shave
skin
that
on it.
thing.
It's like the meat of the inside of the cactus. It's not like the husk of it.
She's gonna eat it sideways. Pinky up. And start chowing down on it with absolutely no regard for manners or making sure that she stays clean.
It's definitely robust in flavor. It has like garlic and like these herbal taste to it. There's also this deep ingrained bitterness that's kind of weird, and just a tiny bit of sweetness.
Don't know
I'm
how
just
much
watching
I'm gonna
her
pay
face
for this,
before I
but
even take a bite, just trying to see what the reaction is.
well, I'm not dead. So I think by that standard it's at least edible. It's a bit bitter, a little grainy, and a little bit sweet, which is like the best part, but I hope you did not spend all your money on this.
Oh, God, no.
Okay, good.
I do have an extra serving, though, if you want. There was sort of a deal on 4, so.
Hey, you want one?
Yeah, well, yeah. Faye will take hers, and you see her close her eyes and kind of like start muttering a little prayer underneath her breath. Not like for you know, like I hope I survive this, but just thanking for the food. And she starts noshing on the cap.
For pinky up.
She'll look and roll her eyes and put her pinky up on the hand that's holding the food, not the one that's actually eating.
There you go.
As you are uttering your prayer,
Oh boy.
you feel a tap on the back of your shoulder.
She'll kind of like wince a little bit before she slowly turns around.
And you see a white ashen skinned tiefling. Hello.
Oh, hi.
You know it is illegal to make your prayers to the unexisting gods. In Raleigh, you could go to jail.
Oh, well, that's fine then. That's totally fine. If it's illegal to pray to non-existent gods, that's okay because mine actually does exist.
Shh, keep your voice down. You're going to get arrested. I said keep it down. Shh. Calm. It is illegal. But I may be looking for someone just like you. And maybe, like the rest of you, you're not from here. You are outsiders. I need help with something. Please. I have a flat.
Okay.
It is overlooked by um it is overlooked by a tower called Tenovan's Teacup. Please meet me there. 2 hours. If you want to make some money, if you want to see some beautiful things, if you want to have some exclusive knowledge.
Oh, okay. You understand this is a little sudden. I will have to confer with my 2 best friends. But we'll give you a tentative maybe.
Great, I'll see you there. And she wanders into the arena.
So Faye will immediately turn around and go, suspicious?
A little bit.
Fascinating.
Different responses.
What do you suppose
Yeah,
the chances are she's going to try to murder us in this flat?
I say 60-40.
it's 3-1. 20-80.
Do I see the tiefling enter the arena?
Yes, you do. And we'll go to you guys as you see her enter the arena and walk directly in your direction. Walks
I
up the
told,
stairs toward the seat where you're sitting.
I'll turn to Mickey.
Eyes.
I told you not to wave at this one.
Yeah. Maybe we should offer her spice bait. Maybe she's hungry.
Maybe she's hungry. You do the talking.
No problem.
She approaches. Hello.
Hi. Do you want a spice bait?
She kind of reaches into the cone and pulls one out. Thank you.
No problem. See, Ryan, I told you that's all she wanted.
You are strange. And you are strange.
What are you talking about? I'm just a normal human being.
Sure you are. You look at her and you can see her eyes kind of like, as they're this like pale blue, they kind of shift, but her iris and pupil stays connected on you, but also moves, almost like a reflection of itself, and moves and looks at both of you at the same time.
I don't like that.
You have strange aura.
Ah,
How you have kept out of sight for so long is beyond me. Nobody knows. Almost nobody.
I don't
knows.
know what you're talking about.
I think everyone kind of knows it's Celestium. That's why we're all here.
Silly. I am talking about you. Yes,
Uh,
there's something about you that's not completely tethered to this world.
are
Don't
you like
worry,
a
I'll keep the
fortune
voice
teller or
down.
something? Do you want money? Is that
Do you want to give me money for telling your fortune?
not really?
And I don't really want to tell your fortune.
Okay, glad we got that sorted. So you had a spice bead. You don't want to tell my fortune, and you looked at us kind of funny. Can we help you with something?
Actually, yes. Have you noticed? I'm sure you have that there are less stars in the sky, less by one.
I mean, it's hard not to notice. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it, and yet nobody seems to want to try to figure it out. I am offering you an opportunity. Get out of the city, explore, gain knowledge that nobody has. I'll be at my flat, and she gives you an address, next to Tenovin's Teacup, a flat of 8. You guys would know from living in Raleigh that Tenovin's Teacup is an artificer's tower.
What do you think we can do? Just, I'm a
I
smith.
think it's a conversation. Oh, you're just a smith, you say. Yet there is another energy that touches you. There is something else.
You can see something I can't.
Isn't that a fun game then? I can see something. Meet me at my flat in 2 hours, if you wish, which I know you will. I'll see you there. She kind of backs off. Oh, and for the road, holds out her hand.
Do you want to shake hands? Is this what this is?
Spice speed.
Oh, yeah. I'll hold out the coat, my coat.
She grabs one. Thank you. I was getting very hungry, and takes a bite and begins to walk back down the stairs and exit the arena. The three of you still waiting there. She kind of walks her way past you without. Oh no, someone's gone.
Adam. They're back.
It's back. It's fine.
And begins to go down the road. Mickey and Ryan, what are you doing here?
You did a lot of talking for saying that I'm doing the talking.
She's really weird.
She was really weird. She said we were
And
both weird.
I mean, I don't know why she thinks I'm weird.
I mean,
You,
you're prematurely gray. That's kind of weird.
like, okay, it's a common affliction. There's no need to bring it up. I mean, you are your own thing. We know this. I am grey. That's not that weird. Why does she think I'm weird?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Want to find out?
I think. I don't know. I don't like this. But if you want to go, I'll go.
It sounds like an adventure. And we don't get those often enough here.
It's true. Can we, I'll need to go pick my stuff up if we're going. I'm not trusting of this.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to come with, or do you want me to
Yeah.
meet you somewhere, or...
You can come with it. It's borderline on the way.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very weirded out, so I'm not going to talk much. But let's go.
Last time, but okay.
All right. You guys walk out of the arena and begin to make your way to go get your stuff, and making steps through the crowd here. You overhear a half elf, a tabaxi, and a snowy elf of some kind having a similar conversation to the ones that you were just having.
Do I spot them, do I?
Yes.
I'll nudge Mick and go, hey, she thinks we're weird. What about those three?
Whoa. Tabaxi!
It's like,
So she did mention payment. I mean, it might be worth it to check it out, I suppose. I'm not sure what she was being all mysterious about with knowledge and travel and all that.
I have to know. People like that, who are that mysterious all the time, always have something to hide. And secrets are the best weapons money could buy. So, I don't know about you. I get that she's a bit suspicious. It's a little weird. But she's onto something very interesting.
And we are also currently stuck in this city, mostly flat broke.
Also
Speak for
true.
yourself.
Fine. I'm stuck in this city, mostly flat broke.
I'll just run over at this point. Excuse me! Excuse me!
Faye's
You're
gonna just whip around and be like, hello, what's up?
You're
And now you may describe your character.
So you see this short little blonde girl come running up to you. Vibrant green eyes, pale, kind of radiating skin. It doesn't like physically glow, but she's glowing. She's
Like
wearing
yours is doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. She wears light leathers, kind of frills out into a skirt a little bit, but she still wears like leggings. She's got a light blue scarf around her neck, and she's just running up to you, super excited, particularly to the tabaxi.
Behind her is a fairly short male, about 5'6", just in leathers, with kind of grey hair in a ponytail and a grey beard. Pretty unassuming otherwise. Who looks highly uncomfortable at everything that is going on, but is just kind of stood a couple of, a few feet behind Mickey, just kind of watching what's going on, very confused.
Greetings.
Your fur is amazing!
Your skin is glowing!
Thank you! And your cheekbones! She turns over to the elf. I have to draw you. I have to draw both of you. Completely ignoring Faye.
Don't take this as an
Okay.
insult. She does this all the time.
This-
I overheard you talking about payment and knowledge and travel.
No, you didn't.
Well, I'm afraid I did.
I believe it was a private conversation we were having.
Well, if it's a private conversation, you shouldn't be having it in public.
He's got a point.
Alright, listen. This is going to be me being polite. What we're doing here is nothing for you to concern yourself with. So we're
Very
gonna
well.
be setting off. I'll note you an appointment maybe tomorrow about a painting. We have a meeting in about a couple hours, so after that, I'll see if I can find you. Will you be here around the arena?
No.
No. No, we won't.
Will you be here in the city tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we live here, so
Oh, okay.
yes.
Great. Alright, so we'll see you here tomorrow, maybe around noon?
Okay. Oh, I'm so
Faye,
excited.
Faye's going to kind of look back and forth between the two groups and, put two and two together and get close to four and go, so you two, did you happen to did anyone talk to you recently?
I mean, you're talking to us right now, but
Did
yeah.
anyone other than us talk to you?
Yeah.
What did this person look like?
What
I
did your
mean,
person look like?
Yeah.
So we both had a person.
Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the city.
Was she a tiefling?
can you see everything around us? There's a lot of people here.
Did your person, as my friend said, was your person a tiefling?
Yeah.
He's going to kind of like give a hand gesture with hands out and be like, I think we're going to be seeing each other very soon.
Okay. You, drab a gray one. You met up with a tiefling. Did she tell you or ask you about things like arcane knowledge and mystery, suspicion, and meeting
No,
up
she
with
just
her?
commented on how weird I looked.
I mean, she's right. But did she
I
also
don't look
ask
weird.
you?
What are you talking about?
Can you let me finish, please? Did she tell you to also meet up at her flat near Tavani's
Tenevin's teacup.
Tenement's
Tenement
teacup?
teacup?
Yep.
Maybe.
She's
Yes.
honest. You, not honest. I'm noting
What
that.
did I say that was dishonest?
You said no. She said yes.
I said maybe.
And she said yes. That's a pretty clear answer. And I asked you
Maybe
again.
maybe also contains yes.
Quinn's
Might
just
also be
munching
no.
on her cactus watching this.
You guys have cactus, and they have
Just
something completely
slowly
different. Just these like
watch
beads
this.
of like balls of sugar and cinnamon.
You ever had this before?
Yeah, why'd you get
Yeah.
a cactus?
It's not
It's
that
not
good.
great. It's not great. What about you? What do you have? That looks kind of good.
spice beads. Do you want to try one?
I do.
Here you go. Go on.
Okay. All right, cool.
I thought the cactus was good.
The spice bead is freaking delicious.
Not
Is
as
it
good as
sweet?
cactus.
Yeah, the cactus is
Are
pretty
you?
good.
You guys don't strike me that you're from round here.
Oh no, really far. We just got off a boat to get here.
You're
I mean,
newbies.
What's
uh,
in?
Welcome to Riley.
Is it always this chaotic
Yep.
here?
no. Only around this time.
Oh wait, that's right. I just learned while you were gone. I went and spoke with someone. This is there's an event, a holiday called Celestium that's happening in 3 days.
Mm-hmm. You can see
Yeah.
the moon. Have you ever seen the moon before?
No.
The
It's
what?
amazing.
Do I eat
I
that?
mean,
Uh-oh, who
like,
froze?
is it like a show? Like, is it a play or something?
Is it
No,
edible?
it's a thing in the sky.
Oh.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's like already a thing in the sky.
Wait 3 days. You'll find it fun.
I will. What's there to do besides just looking at the sky all day?
Eat? Just not the cactus. Oh,
No.
Have mofongo. It's much better.
Oh, I'll try that too.
the skewers are also amazing.
A what? What's that?
It's just little bits of meat that they put on a skewer and then they barbecue it, and it's so good, especially with a spice speed.
Do they have tarberries here?
It's a tarberry.
Do you know what a tarberry is?
Doesn't sound very appetizing.
It is, well, coming from you, nothing sounds appetizing. You seem
I
to
think
have
this
big
cactus
little-
is delicious.
Of course, you would think that the cactus is delicious, but tarberries. So they're really cool. So basically, you take a tart, usually like a berry, right? And then you just mash it with sugar, and then you eat it with a spoon. It's really good.
I mean, Mickey, it sounds like you'll like that.
Yeah.
Faye just kind of shakes her head and she's like, "Wow, this explains so much about you."
Yeah.
Anyway, like, it was lovely to meet you all. But I sort of have to get going because I need to go do things.
And
I have to, these are my work clothes. I'd quite like to not be in my work clothes anymore.
I have a feeling we'll
Before
be
you
running
two
into
leave.
each other sooner than we expect.
Yeah.
Well, it appears so.
Before you leave though, what are your names?
Oh, I'm Micaiah. You can just call me Mickey. It's a lot easier.
Okay. Okay, Micaiah
Um,
Mickey. And then you?
I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Gotcha. I'm Hush.
Hush. Do you have to say it like that?
I
Hush.
tend to. I don't like my name being thrown around everywhere.
She just keeps saying it over and over again.
Faye will
Didn't you-
shove
didn't-
out her hand towards Mickey and be like, "Faye Dalton."